The most widespread lie in the 21st century, the lie of positive thinking that says that anyone can live a happy life just by changing his thoughts from negative thoughts to positive ones. Don't get me wrong, positive thinking is good and necessary thing for us as human beings, but not so simple. Just think positive, and you will live a happy life. No, life is not that easy. We all agree that positive thinking is there and useful, but the mistake is when you are poor, no money, no friends, no stable family, a lot of problems, and you say, I have to think positive. This will not benefit you, but it will harm you. For example, if you have a problem, you will say that you should not think about it. This is good. But who will solve this problem? This is the first problem that positive thinking creates for us. Remember it well, because we will return to it. The rule of the progress paradox says the brain does not distinguish between fiction and reality. And the rule says that when we imagine a result for a long time and in a big way, it consumes our willpower and the enthusiasm that we need to get up from our place and work to achieve our goals. For example, whether you always imagine yourself that you come with the highest grades and that you are happy, or you imagine yourself making a lot of money and living rich, and you always just imagine, your subconscious mind will think that you have achieved this achievement and will not give you the enthusiasm to get up to work and learn in order to achieve the goal. The writer of Ego is the Enemy talk about the same base. And he told the story of a person who was a presidential candidate in California. And he wrote a book in the past tense about the achievements he made when he was president, means imagining himself that he won the election and made many achievements. And after the book was published, he lost the enthusiasm that will make him work around the election campaign. And this has to do with the rule of self-affirmation theory, that is, when you start saying I'm strong, I'm the best, I'm a hero. And this will be believed by your subconscious mind. If you are weak, you will not become strong. If you are bad, you will never become good because of your subconscious mind, that is. Because of positive thinking, we have just seen some of the downsides of positive thinking. The question remains how to think positively in the right way. We have to understand the nature of life, and to understand it we need two basic rules, which are up, down, and the Nova effect. After we understand these two rules, we will know the right way to think positive. Up, down, which says life is about ups and downs, means if your level of happiness is 5/10, and suddenly something wonderful happened to you, for example, you found $100, your happiness level will become 8/10, and after a few days you failed an important exam, your happiness level will become 3/10. And after days you will forget, and your happiness level will return to 5% of 5/10. So is life. Happiness and sadness do not last, as your biggest problems today will not make sense in the future. Do you remember when you were a child, your biggest dream was to have a bicycle? The next rule is the Nova effect. If you really want to understand this rule with me, I will tell you a story. There was a village where an old man lived. He was happy and different from the others. He had a horse, and one day he forgot to tie it, so the horse ran away into the forest. The villagers came to the old man and said, "How unlucky you are." He replied, "It may be that I am unlucky, or it may be that I am lucky." They didn't understand what he meant. Days passed, and the horse returned with 3 other horses. The villagers came again and said, "How lucky you are." He replied, "It may be that I am unlucky, or it may be that I am lucky." They didn't understand what he meant. One day the old man's son went to tame the horses. Suddenly one of the horses kicked him and broke his leg. The villagers came to him and said, "How unlucky you are." He replied, "It may be that I am unlucky, or it may be that I am lucky." They got angry and said, "Are you a fool? This is your son's leg." Days passed, and the army came to conscript the young men for mandatory military service. They took all the young men except the old man's son because of his broken leg. This means that the day the old man forgot to tie his horse had a significant impact on his son's future. That's how life is. You might be on your way to work, suddenly get hit by a motorcycle, and go to the hospital where you find out you have a tumor in its early stage in your brain. You follow the treatment and recover. If the motorcycle hadn't hit you, the tumor would have spread in your brain, and your fate would have been death. This is the rule of the Nova effect, which means that your problems today could be the reason for your happiness tomorrow, and your happiness today could be the reason for your problems tomorrow. So, when we combine the rule of up-down with the rule of the Nova effect, we will have a wonderful philosophy that says the present doesn't matter. If negative thoughts come to you, accept them and don't force yourself to change or forget them. There is a rule that says the thing you try to forget will never be forgotten. For example, try to think of a green triangle. It's difficult. This is what happens with negative thoughts. This is life. Suffering is the joy of life. When you feel suffering, remember these 2 rules. Happiness and sadness don't last. The things you experience today may have many good or bad results. Groove was with you.